This thing is a whopping 7 pages long, so I made you a table of contents to hopefully guide you through. I apologize for the sound of my puppy in the background. He's playing. Oh, here's the table of contents. Um, Instructor, that's me. Um, I am on South City campus most of the day, Tuesday and Thursday. I'm teaching one of your sections, depending on which one you're in, on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I have an 8:30 a.m., an 11:30 a.m., and another section at 1 p.m. So I have a little break there in between that I'll be around South City. However, if that doesn't work for you, we can make an appointment. We can meet online or in person as needed. You just let me know. And to get a hold of me, my email's fine. Canvas messaging is also fine. That might be easier for you. It goes straight to my email. I check it several times a day. So if you need to get a hold of me, that's the best way. I do have an office, but I don't really go there anymore. It's on Taylorsville. And I'm on South City most of this semester, but messaging is the quickest way to reach me anyway. So feel free to do that. Well, welcome to my classroom. This is an all-inclusive classroom. We do not discriminate again on the basis of any of these aspects of identity and background or any others that I perhaps did not mention here. So welcome to all of you. I'm glad to have all of you here. And as always, suggestions are encouraged and appreciated. I have had students approach me and say, well, something might have made them uncomfortable that happened during class, something I said or something that happened. Let me know. I really would like to make sure that all of you feel like you're welcome here. So please don't be shy, because I know students can be. COVID safety. I put a whole page on the orientation module on COVID safety. And you probably have been through this drill if you were here in the fall or maybe last spring. But please keep these things in mind. And also note, it's not here in the syllabus, but it's on the orientation module page. You have access to free COVID testing on campus, and I'm taking advantage of it. Please take advantage of it so you know your status at all times. Well, at least once a week anyway. So that's very helpful if you can't get it through other means, because I know some of you work in healthcare. Maybe you already have access. Maybe you've been vaccinated, which is great. But please take advantage of that service if you need it, if you can't get it elsewhere. Also, I mean, aside from COVID has exacerbated this, but it's true always. There's various, basic needs that I think are hard for students to meet these days, including things like food security, childcare. I know a lot of you are parents. Other issues of stress and anxiety because, well, it was around before the pandemic and it's even worse now, I would say, for all of us. So if you need counseling, these counselors are very helpful. They are accustomed to a lot of the problems that students have, and they have great advice for you guys. Okay, so the course information. There's the basic course description. This is an anatomy class, all the parts and pieces of your body. Not all, you'll discover. We leave some of them out because there's plenty that we are covering. There's a lot of material in this course. And we make this course as hard as it is in order for you to be able to transfer these credits elsewhere if you need it. These are the expectations for various programs that you may be applying to, like say a nursing program or radiology tech or something like that. So yes, it is a difficult course. There's a lot to do, and I'm going to try and help you absorb this material as easily as possible. The course materials. Canvas, we use Canvas constantly. So there'll be a whole number of things, including all the lecture materials on Canvas. And I'll give you a tour of that in a different video. Textbook, that is the textbook we're using. 5th or 6th edition, honestly, they haven't even sent me the 6th edition. So if you have the 5th, you're fine. And you're probably going to survive with an older edition, like say the 4th. But just make sure that you have this same author. McKinley is the first author, and this publisher, McGraw-Hill. Then you're good. Laboratory text, your laboratory instructors will tell you more about that in their Canvas site. And here's a link to their website. Actually, they have a Canvas site and they have a separate website. The one that has the more detailed information would be this website here that I've linked to. And they'll tell you more about the laboratory text and other materials you'll need for lab. I've inserted this in because I updated the syllabus from when I started the video. Anyway, note, yes, you must have access to a computer and you have to have access to internet. Note, I've highlighted it here, and there's also these links available actually on the COVID safety and basic needs page of the orientation module. If you need a computer or if you don't have reliable internet and you need, they have these little Wi-Fi hotspot devices that work really well. No, you can just literally carry it around and it'll give you Wi-Fi access. It's pretty amazing from your home or from wherever else you may be. Those are available at the library if you check this link here, or the link is also available on the COVID safety and basic needs page. And then this link also available on that page, and of course right here. If you need access to software like really basic Microsoft Word, you're going to need and PowerPoint for this class. And there's other software available as well to students free of charge. So take advantage of that if you need it. Student preparation. Yeah, you're going to need to do all of these things. I'm going to remind you of it constantly. Yes, you're going to have to spend a lot of time on this class, and I'm going to try to make it as painless as possible. But you should spend at least maybe plan on 10 hours out of class per week. That's including lecture and lab in order to succeed in this course. Okay, evaluation and grading. So this is all broken down on Canvas as well. It's maybe easier to see there. If you look under the tab assignments, you'll see a really breakdown. Yeah, I have points here, but really the weight towards your final grade, that doesn't always perfectly match up. So be aware of that. Say 100 quiz points is actually worth less than 100, say, exam points. But basically, you're going to have 4 unit exams in this class. I'll have the dates up on Canvas soon if I don't have them up already by the time you're watching this video. Of when you're going to be expected to complete each of those. I dropped the lowest score, so I just put an asterisk here under number 4, but who knows which one you're going to be able to drop. So if you bomb one, it's not going to count towards your final grade. And in fact, I've had students bomb 2 of them and still do fine in the course. So I'll give you lots of material to help you prep for these exams, and you got a little leeway there. There's a lot of out-of-class quizzes, and these Canvas quizzes out of class, the reason I do 22, which is 1 for each chapter, it's practice for those exams. They're old exam questions. They're not hard quizzes in terms of they don't take a lot of time, plus they're open book and open note. So I will give you more tips on how to do those quizzes outside of class to like maximize what you get out of them, not just the grade that you get, but also how you use them for practice to get ready for the exams. These muddiest points and in-class quizzes, well, muddiest points are probably going to be just a mystery to you. I'll get into those as the term goes on, what those are. They're really easy assignments. It's just a way for you to vote on what you think was the most difficult material, what you think we need to review more. And then we'll have a series of in-class quizzes. And yes, actually, that should be 4. Sorry, I'm going to have to change that. I dropped the 4 lowest in-class quizzes. So we do about 2 in-class quizzes or assignments during each class period. So I drop about 4 of them, which means you can miss a couple days this semester and it's not going to hurt you. And those in-class quizzes, you will have the opportunity to take them a couple times in order to get the highest grade possible. So they're meant to be practice. They're not meant to be like this big onerous, scary thing. Okay. Final exam. There is a final exam in this course. It's worth 10% of your final grade. You can't drop it, but note it's worth less than your unit exams. And often by the time you get to the final, I'll give you a ton of practice material. Students tend to do much better than they expected by the time they get to the final. It's just a matter of going back and reviewing what you forgot from the first three units because you just came out of unit 4. But I will give you plenty of opportunity to get ready for that. And then laboratory, that's worth 25% of your grade. So how your laboratory grade is determined, I'll leave that to your lab instructors to give you information about that. But what they do is at the end of the term, they give me your final grade for lab. They send it to me, and then I plug it in to your Canvas gradebook. It's calculated at 25% of your final grade, and that's how I get to 100%. So you only get 1 grade for anatomy. Ultimately, I'm the one who submits it, but your lab instructors they do determine a portion, or your lab class determines a portion of that anatomy grade. Okay, um, exams will be on Canvas. I'll give you more information about that and also how they'll be proctored. If you haven't used Proctorio, the remote proctoring before, um, you'll get accustomed to that as well, because the labs will be using it in addition to the lectures. Oh, you know what? I realized dates and time. I will not have you sign up. I found that last term I discovered that's not necessary, which is great. You hop on when you're ready and you take the exam. There'll be a due date. You'll see it on Canvas. All the due dates are on a Friday. So yeah, you'll just take it when you need to. You don't need to sign up for it. So there is going to be a window in which you can take the exams. They're due on a Friday, but there's a window that you can choose to take them, and it'll be like Wednesday through Thursday. Most students honestly wait till the last day, and that's totally fine. But if you need to take it outside of those scheduled times, you're going to have to let me know, give me some sort of documentation if something's going on in your life that you need to take at a different time, and I can make that happen for you. I can arrange that if needed. Okay, and I do need them made up within, say, 5 business days, so that's like about a week. And the reason for that is I really need to get the grades back to the other students. They need to get their feedback from the exams. So if you have to do a makeup because, well, you were ill, and because you know what, COVID does happen, and I'll talk about that more on the COVID safety page, because if that happens to you, I'm going to work with you. And if you can't make it up within a week, we're going to figure out something else for you. If you've been exposed or if you have become ill, we'll figure it out. Okay, yes, final exam is comprehensive, covers everything. There will be extra credit. Just put a pin in that for now. I will get back to it. I will tell you how you can get some extra credit in this course by doing some things that won't be too terribly difficult. There's your grading scale. This is pretty standard. It's slick. What constitutes an A minus, etc. Class schedule. I didn't even bother putting it on the syllabus because I know that this is a document you might not come back to a lot during this term, but you'll come back to Canvas. So Canvas will have the class schedule in a couple places. I'll show you during the Canvas tour where you can find the class schedule. Okay, so general policies. I'm just going to point out a few things. Attendance, yes, you do need to either attend, or if you've taken this course orientation module and filled out the various questionnaires, I consider you to have attended, and I will not drop you. The only reason I would drop people is if, and this happens honestly, is sometimes somebody registers for a course, forgets about it, and doesn't go back and drop it officially, and then they get charged, which is terrible. So that's why I put this attendance thing in there, is mainly just to make sure that everyone remembers that they need to either stay in this course or drop it, and because I don't want you paying for something you didn't do. And then, yeah, incomplete's pretty rare, but what does often happen is life circumstances get in the way and you can't stay in the course this semester. The last day to drop with a full refund is February 1st, so you have a little bit of time to decide whether or not you can do this course right now. And then without a refund is March 23rd, so there is still the possibility later in the term, if life circumstances get in the way and you have bitten off more than you can chew, that you can still withdraw from this course without getting a failing grade, which is important. Other things to note, in particular, missed due dates. Talk to me about making up quizzes and exams. I mentioned exams earlier. Making up quizzes is a possibility. I let people do that a few times during the semester. So approach me if you miss a quiz. And then classroom recordings. You are allowed to record what's going on in class. We're going to do a lot of in-class exercises this term, but you can still record them if needed. And then you're going to have access to all of the lecture videos that you can listen to later. The only thing I say is you don't have permission to publish those recordings or those videos elsewhere online without written instruction from me, which I doubt any of you would do. Anyway, they're not that exciting, but I do have to make note of that you can't publish them on your own. Only I can do that. But you're welcome to listen to them as many times as you want. You're welcome to record class when you come to campus. That's totally fine. Okay, and then these are some learning outcomes that are college-wide that I'm sure you've seen before. Course learning outcomes, we're going to do all these things, but it's, I think, a little bit much for you to absorb this like broad learning outcomes right now. When we start looking at individual study guides for each chapter, then you're going to have a good idea of what you're expected to know as you go through this course. And finally, I'll just make a quick note of this. There is an institutional syllabus. If you look on the far left ribbon in Canvas, you can scroll down there and find the institutional syllabus, which tells you all kinds of college-wide things that you should know. So please take a note of that. Okay, that is the syllabus.